There was nothing else at all in the whole world but football.
Hi, welcome to my prediction video for Croatia v Scotland tonight. Simon's got the Czech Republic v England game today, so we'll see who comes out on top today in this mini battle, head-to-head. But it's a head-to-head today for Croatia and Scotland with 3 points. Securing promotion from this qualification from this group stage. So if you win tonight, then either side is going to qualify for that knockout stage. And yeah, it's got to be said, Croatia pretty much favourites for this. And I mean, right off the bat, I would predict a 1-0 victory for Croatia. I think potentially they're going to be too strong for Scotland. They do have a team. You know, it's an aging side. It's you know, it's not quite the force of nature that it once was. You know, a few years ago when they made the World Cup final. But you know, with the likes of Kovacic, Perisic, Modric, they've still got you know, quite a talented bunch of players in that squad. And I think if one or two of those turn in a decent performance today, then it could spell peril for Scotland. So hopefully not, though. Big news as well, obviously Billy Gilmour not in today. I question whether or not he has the influence that you might have expected, that people seem to be you know, talking about. But you know, obviously he did have a good game against England. Pretty much ran the middle of the park, but you know, can he turn that performance in, game out? I would have questioned whether that's possible, but given his inexperience, and yeah, I don't necessarily think he'll be a huge loss in the grand scheme of things, but obviously, you know, you like to have your players available when you can. But yeah, it's a strange set of circumstances for him to be missing out today. Apparently he had a 20-minute conversation with two of England players as well, Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell, which has ruled them out for the other game. So it's had a big knock-on effect for everyone in this group, really. So maybe that was his plan all along, Agent Gilmour, shall we say, trying to undermine England's chances of qualification from the group today. But yeah, I think Scotland will do well to get a result today. I think Croatia potentially are too strong for them, and I think they're going to nick a 1-0 win today. Croatia are weak, potentially. They've got vulnerabilities. They've got an ageing defence. You know, they're not the force they once were, like I say. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory. But yeah, this is my favourite time of any European Championships or World Cup. You know, that third game, that third match in the group stages where everything's to play for. A sense of jeopardy involved as well. It could be anything happening tonight. Obviously, England have already qualified after yesterday's results turned in their favour. But, you know, for Scotland to get second, possibly, it would take a big swing in terms of goals and for England to lose. But, I mean, that third place could potentially be up for grabs in this sort of fairy tale result for them. So fingers crossed, you know. I think I exhausted all my positivity on that Wales game, my last prediction. But yeah, 1-0 Croatia tonight, I reckon. We'll see though. Hi and welcome to my reaction video to Croatia v Scotland, and it's a shame, but Scotland are now out of the tournament. I do think that bottom of the group finish does them a disservice. I think they've, you know, acquitted themselves well this tournament. I think they've shown some real heart, some real energy, and it's a young side. You know, they're going to come good, hopefully, for Qatar, and hopefully we'll see them again. But Croatia just had too much experience, too much skill. They just controlled the game, controlled the flow of the game, which largely down to Luka Modric, who just seemed to defy age. He's, what, 35 now? He just controlled the game in the only way he can. His vision, almost like a puppeteer, just sort of pulling the strings when he needed to. Involved in most of the goals there as well, in the lead up to that first goal. as well. And I think I said in the prediction as well that Perisic would play a key role. Evidently he did, knocking down for that first goal. He leapt up incredibly well and out-muscled the defender there too easily. And obviously for the third goal, with a beautiful glancing header, which again, I don't think I've seen necessarily someone as strong in the air as that for some time throughout the game. It's a real asset to his game. But Modric, again, that second goal outside of the boot, it's one of those goals that you try in the playground when you're younger and you fail to pull it off. And more often than not, it goes out for a throw-in. But the technique and the way he struck that on the outside of his right foot there was just a thing of beauty, and you can't begrudge him a goal like that. That was just incredibly beautiful. But Scotland, they started well, and they were unlucky to some extent. I think there's an argument to say that they were unlucky throughout this group stage, but I think luck tends to even itself out over 3 games, and I think they potentially didn't capitalise on the chances that they had. Wasteful and potentially not quite good enough up front. I think that first attempt with Shea Adams, where he stuck his boot out when he really should have, gone for the header there. That should have been finished, and that could have changed the tone of the game, which unfortunately it didn't. But again, there was a certain naivety, a certain inexperience with the defence there. Didn't quite close down that sort of enterprising attacking style of play that Croatia adopted today. So they should have been a bit more, forceful with that, a bit more Bielsa-like, and just chasing that ball down today, because Croatia really took advantage of that free space and that time that they had on the ball. And you don't give someone like Luka Modric that time, because he's just going to dictate the play, as he did. Nice to see Callum McGregor get that goal. That was a nicely taken goal, and a nice movement leading up to that, actually. Some really sort of smooth passing, which potentially does challenge that idea that luck has run out, and that potentially they were a little unlucky. So I think with movement like that, with a team building sort of process from out the back that led to that goal, I think potentially that points to a brighter future, and especially with a young squad, it's going to hopefully come good for them. But I think this was potentially too early for them in the tournament and in their sort of history. So maybe Qatar is going to be the way forward for them. But yeah, Croatia showing signs that they are essentially the World Cup finalists. That's a quality that doesn't diminish, I think, and that really showed today. So whilst I didn't get the score right, I think I predicted 1-0, wasn't it? I certainly got the tone and the way the game panned out right. So I'll take that as a small win there. But on to the next one, and exciting times. All right, cheers.
Thank you so much for listening to the Triple F. If you could please drop a like on our Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter, that would be massively appreciated. Hope you're all keeping safe, and thanks again for listening to the Triple F.